Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week, and halfway through we stop for a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. We've spun it off. We're at the magic number 59.
Yeah.
How do you get a question in, Andrea?
Well, follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I put a post out. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Why are subcompact cars getting bigger? Isn't the idea of a subcompact to be smaller and better for urban life? Well, we talked to Toyota about this and why they are eliminating subcompact cars, and they said they cost more to produce.
Well, I just wanted to back up a little bit. There's really only two subcompact cars left in the marketplace.
Yep.
It's the Kia Rio, which I believe is going away, and the Mitsubishi Mirage.
Yes.
All of the others have gone away. The Fit from Honda, the Yaris from Toyota, the Accent from Hyundai, and the Focus, not the Focus, the Fiesta from Ford, all gone. So I think maybe what you're referring to is subcompact utilities. And you're right. If you look at the Honda HR-V, for example, way bigger. It's actually on a compact car platform.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah. And if you are talking about subcompact cars, you are right, they're gone. But now you've got things like the Nissan Versa, you've got the Honda Civic, the Toyota Corolla. But
they're
these
much bigger,
smaller ones are gone. Yes, SUVs keep getting bigger. You know why? Because people want bigger. They want bigger.
You see this over and over in an industry. They just think about the original Honda Accord.
I know.
Like the Honda Accord got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the Civic got bigger and bigger as well. We just like bigger here.
Look at the Hyundai Kona. It was so fun to drive. It was like a go-kart on wheels, especially the higher performance one. But people complained that it was too small. I remember my mom looking at it and she goes, that Kona is just too small. So what did Hyundai do? They made it bigger. Hello. A question for both of you and then a question for Zach. First, if each of you could pick any midsize SUV for a cross-country road trip, what would it be? And second, what watch did Zach wear the most in 2023? Should we do a 3, 2, 1 for midsize?
Midsize cross-country car. Okay.
No, not car.
SUV, yeah.
SUV.
Okay, are we going luxury or non-luxury first?
Well, let's do luxury first.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
X5.
Cayenne. Okay. Cayenne, you said X5.
Yeah.
And then non-luxury. Ready?
Can I just say why I chose it?
We can come back to that.
Okay, we'll do that.
3, 2, 1.
Highlander.
Durango.
So the reason why I picked the X5 versus the Cayenne is just, you know what? I'm not crazy about the new Cayenne interior.
True. I changed my mind. I'm with Andrea. X5. You're right. X5.
I mean, I love the way the Cayenne handles, but the X5 handles really well too. And I like the infotainment system, and it doesn't have all that piano black, so...
And the inline six is beautiful. Okay, I changed my mind. You're right. All those things Andrea said. And then we switched to the non-luxury, and I just think the best handling mid-size 3-row SUV is the Dodge Durango.
No, he said mid-size, so it doesn't have to be a 3-row SUV.
Well, most of them are.
So the Highlander is really quite floaty-boaty, but I gotta tell you, it was just so comfortable. I could just drive that along. I could be in the passenger seat. I'd take a nap. I'd be in the back in my captain's chair.
That means I got to drive it.
Taking a nap. Well, you could be here. You could do it. Durango is good, but
I like the Durango.
I wouldn't pick the Durango myself.
I would for a long distance road trip. Very comfortable. It's really planted, and it's really. I like the way it feels.
Do you know what other one I really like as well? It doesn't have a third row, but it's the current model, not the new model coming out because we haven't driven it yet, the Hyundai Santa Fe. I found that one to be really comfortable as well.
Well, you're on to my second favorite topic, other than cars, watches.
And sunglasses.
Sunglasses. I've kind of
You're kind of off of sunglasses now,
Yeah,
aren't
but
you?
I did see a pair when we were in Las Vegas.
That you like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem is $400.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not spending $400.
They're expensive sunglasses now.
Well, the ones
not
I
as
wanted,
bad as a watch or a car.
They were Maui Jims.
Yeah, I love Maui Jims. Ugh.
So Father's Day's coming. Just saying. So watches, I am a bit of a watch fanatic, and I have over the years amassed a stupid collection of watches, like a lot of watches. And the two watches I wore last year the most are two of the newest. This is my Girard Perregaux Seahawk 2 that I bought at the end of 2022.
Yeah.
So for the first half of the year, I wore this one a lot. And then in the second half of the year, so my 2023 pickup was my Zenith Pilot. Andrea really likes that watch too. It comes with different straps. And that watch I wore the second half of the year the most.
And there's always a story behind every watch purchase.
Yeah, they sometimes just mysteriously show up at the house.
Sometimes. Interesting, hey?
Just like your shoes.
That's okay. But my shoes are slightly less.
Yeah,
right?
but you got a lot of shoes, Andrea. Well, okay, we can
You're
keep
happy
talking
guy.
about watches, but I think people are here for the cars.
Yes, let's move on. Excited for the Mazda CX-70 reveal on January 30th. We'll be there in New York. I've heard some conflicting reports on this vehicle. Some say it will essentially be a CX-90 with third row delete, and others say it will be a wide body CX-60. Any scoops you can share?
I think the shorter version of the CX-90 is a pretty safe bet because they have, similarities with the drivetrains for training purposes and all that. It's going to be easier for them. I don't know. We are going to find out. We're going to get an exclusive first look of the vehicle and then report to you. But that's my guess.
Well, Zach and I are thinking it's going to be similar to the Volkswagen Atlas and Volkswagen Cross Sport Atlas. That maybe they'll kind of do it that way. But the rumors are that it's going to be as big as the CX-90.
Sorry, no, it's going to be the wheelbase. This is what they did with the Volkswagen.
Yeah.
The wheelbase remained the same. The back seat was the same size. They just shortened the vehicle a little bit and gave it a sportier look. That's what Andrew's talking about.
But I've got to say the cargo space and the second row legroom in that Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport is amazing. So the rumors is exactly what you said, the CX-90 deleting the third row. But when I spoke to Mazda actually about discontinuing the CX-5, because I had rumors about that, they said no, they aren't going to discontinue it because it's in a totally different category than the CX-70. Which leads me to believe that the CX-70 is going to be quite a bit bigger. That's my feeling.
What's going to be common is the inline six-cylinder. That's our belief.
Yeah.
We don't know anything officially
and the
yet.
plug-in hybrid.
And the plug-in hybrid. So that's what's going to carry forward.
Enjoy your videos. Thank you. Why, in your opinion, do manufacturers still provide navigation? Nearly everyone uses their phone. I have a 2023 CR-V, and as an experiment, I used Honda Nav. It was far inferior to my iPhone navigation. I would prefer a lesser price and no nav.
Well, the great thing about using Apple and Android connectivity for your head unit is that you get the real-time maps and you get the real-time traffic. And if you put in a destination all the way across town, it's going to tell you the fastest route based on traffic, and onboard navigation can't do that.
No.
I totally agree with this. I don't understand it. The only use case would be if someone lives in a faraway place that doesn't have cell connectivity and you want to have maps. But I mean, that could be something they could maybe add in at the dealership.
Yeah.
And you're not paying for it.
And there's a real learning curve with any navigation. I mean, figuring how to put in, of course, the numbers and your destination, where you're going. I find it really frustrating. So the fact that I can just put in the destination on my phone and then it all comes up, and then because if I have wired Apple CarPlay or wireless, it all connects. It's wonderful.
So I think we're going to start to see a move back to onboard navigation, and I'll tell you why. As the car companies move towards more autonomy in the car, having the car do more of the driving for you, it needs a roadmap, right? And they probably don't want to rely on Google and Apple for that. They want it to be embedded in the car. But remember, the car is also a connected car. So it has a SIM card that can also update things like traffic and all those sorts of things. But the car is going to be able to drive itself. This is the future now. And it needs to have a navigation system. So I think we're going to see more of that added back in.
Well, sounds more complicated and more room for errors.
You think so?
Yeah. Thanks so much for your fantastic car reviews. Thank you. They helped with our current vehicle, and I'm hoping you might have some advice for our next decision. We leased a Genesis GV70 in June 2022 for 2 years with the thought that we would go electric in 2024. We have placed a deposit on an electric GV70, love the light interior. However, we're having some second thoughts, some range anxiety, and the recent battery challenges you have identified. As a result, we've also placed a deposit on a Lexus RX plug-in hybrid.
Whoa, Andrea, we've opened a can of worms with this battery thing. Listen, I think the GV70 is one of the best new electric vehicles I've driven in a long time. The problem is the range isn't that great.
No, and also I don't know what battery replacement costs are for Genesis vehicles. Can they be repaired or do they have to be replaced?
Well, it's Hyundai,
we know
right?
with Hyundai at this time, they cannot be repaired, but they are working on being able to repair their batteries. We heard from Kia. Their batteries can be repaired.
I just want to jump in here because Kia and Hyundai run separately.
They do.
Yes, but Genesis falls under Hyundai.
It does.
And they are, and they're owned by Hyundai dealers.
Yes.
And the dealerships right now, in the Canadian market anyway, not capable of fixing it. That would spill over to Genesis.
But that's not confirmed.
That's not confirmed,
no.
but it's logical. I don't know what to say. I think the Lexus is a wonderful product. Good luck getting one.
Yeah, good luck getting one. They're very difficult to get. I would say, if you are going to go electric, my issue with any electric vehicle, not just Genesis, Hyundai, Kia, is that we're not getting enough information from manufacturers. They're not being transparent with battery costs. If you go into a Genesis dealership and you order the GV70 electric and you ask, what's the cost to repair the battery if I impact it? I don't know. Good luck trying to get that information. So these are all things that you need to think about.
It's the same battery pack as the Ioniq 5 that we talked about.
Yeah.
It's the same size battery. It's the same architecture. So just take that, put that in your pipe. Back to the Lexus. I think the Lexus is a great choice. You're going to have a hard time getting one.
And if you do want to get a GV70 electric, why don't you consider getting replacement insurance? So if you do have any issues, it kind of covers everything for you. You're not going to lose any money, and you could lease it, as you mentioned.
But if you can already afford that car,
yeah,
a little bit more money for that.
It's such a beautiful car.
A little bit more money to cover yourself on insurance is not that much more to spend.
We really loved it.
Yeah, I mean,
it is one of our favorite electric vehicles. We need more Canadian auto reviewers like you guys.
No, we don't.
For the
Listen,
great
we don't need any more Canadian auto reviewers like us. This is all you need.
This is it. You have to come to us.
Yes.
You have to watch us.
We don't need you going, it's anybody else.
Nowhere else. You're
just
stuck
stay
with
right
us.
here.
Yes. I'm considering a 2024 VW ID4 Pro rear-wheel drive, and notice the tires are staggered, where the front is a 235/55 and the rear is 255/50. I've read that in these situations, the tires are only warranted for half their rated mileage due to the inability to rotate them. Wondering if there are any issues switching to a square setup after the OEM tires wear out. Are there any performance issues? Could the switch void the vehicle warranty? Wow, we went straight to the top for this one, didn't we, Zach?
Yeah, so we reached out to the head of product planning at Volkswagen Canada, who's the guy that configured these vehicles from Germany for you to buy, and this is Patrick's reply.
He said some ID4 models are offered from the factory with a square setup. We also have a square fitment for winter in our own catalog for all versions of ID4. As long as the total diameter and tire load ratings of the factory spec are respected, there should be no concern.
Okay, so you got to remember, the wheels front to back are not larger. Okay, the rear wheel isn't larger. It's just the tire is a little bit wider. And how they do that, so one is, I'm just doing this from memory, one is 250 across and the other one is 255 across. But the aspect ratio goes from 55 to 50. So that makes it's complicated how they measure tires. They do some in inches, some in millimeters, and some as the ratio of the width of the tire. So just know that the overall circumference of the wheel and tire is exactly the same. So you can take those, say, 18-inch wheels and get, as they call square, Andrea. You get the same size tire. That's not a problem. I have on my Cayenne manual staggered wheels for one set of wheels, and I have two sets of wheels, and then the interesting thing, that staggered wheels are the winter wheels, which is kind of odd. And then the summer wheels are the same size.
And then you made a mistake on the winter wheels because you
No. We don't need to tell
forgot.
everybody that.
No. I'm just trying to explain, like, because they're staggered, you have to be careful.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I put the fronts on the back and the backs on the front.
But what I'm not trying to,
you threw me under the bus,
call them
Andrea.
out on it. I'm just trying to say you have to be careful.
But all I
with
can
that.
tell you is my back was extra sore after that.
Or I had to get our son to help.
No, this year he did. I hurt my back.
Yeah.
But that year I did it all. I did it all myself. I changed my own. I got the jack. I got the
He does
Milwaukee.
it all. And then he showed Charlie how to do it.
Yeah, and I had to pay him.
Well, that was you. You said you wanted to pay him. He wasn't requesting money. He would have done it for free. But you
Well, that's
offered.
good to know.
If you offer an 18-year-old money, who's going to say no? If you offer me money, I'm not going to say no.
But I taught him a life skill, how to change wheels.
But you offered him money
I
first.
showed him how to use the torque
So you can't
wrench.
throw that back because you offered him money and he accepted it.
It was well worth it for my back
Yes.
to not lift the 21-inch wheels.
And honestly, what we paid him, when you consider the chiropractor visits and the massage therapy, we got off light.
This torso of a giant doesn't come cheap.
No, it does not. It does not. Zach was like, he gets up in the morning, he's like, oh, great, I got the chiro at 8. Oh, great, I got the massage at 3.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
have
like,
a lot of back problems.
Lots of trouble.
That's your
Hi.
future, Andrea.
Actually, sometimes we see, an elderly couple walking and I'm like,
And I say to Andrea, look, there's me in the future.
Yeah.
Like an old guy.
And then the woman's like, boop, 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 boop. Hi, amazing channel. Thanks for the great content. Thank you. Any update on the Kia and Hyundai wireless Android Auto? I'm next in line for the Sportage PHEV, and I just want to make sure I'll finally get Android Auto if I buy this car. Some people say only cars equipped with CCNC will get it. So,
Well, the thing is, I just want to jump in and say we're not seeing a consistency here with these car companies because Hyundai brought out the Kona gas just last fall, and it does not have wireless Apple and Android. And then they brought out the Kona Electric just a few months later, and it does.
And it does, but it's kind of the same thing with the Sorento. The 2024 gas models will get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but the Sorento plug-in hybrids and hybrids won't get this until 2025. So the Sportage will not be getting it for 2024, which is probably the model year you're going to get. Whether they change that in 2025, we don't know yet.
Well, the thing is, it seems to us that what they're doing is they're holding these updates until the vehicle gets a refresh.
Yeah.
So Sorento is getting a refresh, not just the info, but also a facelift.
Yeah.
So at that time, they're going to do it. And you'll see the same thing with the Santa Fe. There's a new Santa Fe coming. That one will get the update.
And we did ask Hyundai about maybe a software update for vehicles that have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but they said at this time they don't know if that will be possible.
I got my first dongle. It's not my first dongle. We have a dongle for the TV, but I have the first dongle for wireless Apple and Android.
He's pretty excited about his dongle.
And I plugged my dongle in, and it works, and you get in the car. So you can go on Amazon. I paid $60. The only problem is where the plug on mine is at the front of the unit. If yours is kind of hidden away somewhere, you can get that connectivity, and it's like $60. So don't get all bent out of shape about it.
Do you have to pay for the gas, electricity for the cars you review? Yes, we do.
Welcome to Canada, eh?
They have to go back with a full tank of fuel, and they have to be fully charged.
Or 80% charged, because you've got to drive there.
Yes, you have to drive there.
It's very different. And the reason why I say we have to pay for it in Canada, in the United States, big difference is we have to use this car to go and pick up often across town, the press car, and then drive back. So Andrea drives me there, and then we bring the press car back. We have to fill the car and charge the car and drop the car back. In America, Andrea, they valet the car to your house.
Nice.
They bring it to you, and it's full and charged, and then you just drop it back empty, and they fill it up again.
How lovely.
Yeah, that's what they get in the US of A.
Anyway, it's part of a business expense for us, and You know what? It's the way it is, and we get to access all these cars and produce all this great content on the channel.
No, it's not a negative, Andrea. I'm just saying it's the
And
difference.
we get to show you
Well,
all
also,
of these cars.
the one thing I'll say is that picking up and dropping off is part of the
The
evaluation.
drive, yeah, of driving, because you're going to a different area than what you would typically drive the vehicle in, right? Anyway, that's it for us. That's the show.
Well, how do you get a question in?
Well, follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time. I put a post out with Zach and I holding coffees. Get your questions in. It's only up for a short time. My goodness, the questions are coming in fast and furiously. I feel like we have to do even more episodes. The channel's going to become questions, coffee, and
No,
cars.
it's not going to become that.
Anyway, the post is deleted, and then we start the show.
So we'll see you then.